What?
I love
I'm just gonna up here. Yo, yo, yo.
it.
What's up? We're here back in the Artifakt Hour. We got myself, Ryan, with Audrey,
Hey.
partner Audrey, and today we're doing something different. So we're gonna be starting up totally fresh canvases. All we have is these backgrounds. This is just a blank black canvas. Audrey's got some teal little background on hers, and we're just kind of rocking some quick ones today for you. So in the past, our paint cast, we've been working on like big, huge pieces, and we've kind of shown you the process of like a larger piece. Like, you know, our last episode, we had like a 10-foot canvas on here. So now we're just trying to like bring it back to the basics of making a really small canvas. These are, I think this is 9 by 12 or 11 by 14 maybe. So small canvases. I'm gonna bang out this whole canvas start to finish in an hour. That's my goal. So Bob Ross style, you know, in true Bob Ross fashion, we're trying to just make an entire painting from start to finish right before your eyes.
Ah, yeah.
So, all right, let's get into that.
I'm laughing because I'm already like just playing and starting over and
Yeah.
going with the flow.
Well, it's dope to be able to do this without having like some serious plan or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I have an idea what I'm gonna do right now. I'm not gonna tell you all, but you're gonna see. But right now, I'm just laying down some honeycomb stencil patterns into the background and going with that.
And I am very much practicing my hand at detailed spray paint because it's just not my strong suit, and you just gotta build muscles when you want them.
Yeah, so
Kind of that simple.
can control.
Can control.
That's kind of
precisely.
what I'm working through right here. Because like my goal today is that I'm gonna make this whole painting with just spray cans, so that I can be limited to the I can only get so detailed with it. If I break out too many brushes, like I might do a little brush work and stuff, but honestly, I want to keep this basic because spray paint has like certain limitations when it comes to details, and you really can't
Exactly.
go further with it. So it's fun to embrace the limitations that it has. But
Yeah.
that being said,
There we go. Okay.
certain parts of the process can be really quick and like really, you know, fun and simple, and some of it can be
A nightmare. No, I'm kidding.
like kind of crazy and detailed and weird. Like spray paint, traditionally I do a lot of backgrounds with it, and then I'll do airbrush and stuff on top and mixed media and stuff. But as the years have gone, I've been getting more into just doing just spray paint as its own medium. So like I said, like just trying to do little crispy details right now. Still stenciling, but
And I'm just practicing.
you know, I can only go so far with it. So you've got to embrace some of the chaos because I can't plan it. Like the splatter does what the splatter does. Like it's just gonna
Splatter is as splatter does.
pretty much like
Splatter do, splatter don't.
yeah, like spray paint. I talk about this every time, but there's a state of chaos in which you have to embrace.
Well, that's what I love about a lot of spray painters, mural artists, graffiti artists, especially your style included. It's that you embrace the overspray, you embrace the splatters, and like there's a perfection and even a realism that can live with the splatters also a part of it. It's like, it's so epic, and it's just so unique to this medium.
Yeah, I feel that. So that's part of the learning curve is like, for me, spray paint helps me get over my perfectionism that like with other mediums I just can't seem to do. But this, I kind of have to just like let it be what it is.
I think that's why this is the perfect medicine for me.
honestly, yeah. Like some mediums, like drawing, to me is too tight and
Henrietta?
tedious and difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you're still kind of drawing with the can in essence. So
For sure. For sure. And on that note, I'm just gonna go for it. No, I can't because it's not. See, using water based,
hey.
it's not dry yet, so
Okay.
kind of gotta wait personally.
Okay. Yes, you do.
Nice.
So this is
That's the
water-based.
thing.
This is water-based spray paint we're using. So there's no odors, there's no fumes. As you can see, I'm not wearing a mask. It's a lot more safer, non-toxic for indoor use.
Lot more
so
safer.
this is kind of what we utilize. It's made by Montana. Again, MTN water-based. You can get this through our studio, Artifakt Supply. That is our supply brand where we have a spray paint graffiti shop here in Worcester, Massachusetts. So the front of house of our studio is the graffiti shop. The back is our studio space. So
Maybe we'll be in there next week.
yeah, next live stream we want to actually stream from the front, so we can show you our gallery space, our paint shop, and maybe do something that's a little more clean and is not spray paint based. But yeah, we definitely want to show the audience our full.
Yeah, because usually we stream from the back. Giggity.
Yep. All right, so I don't know. Any guesses on what I'm painting right now?
I mean, I know the answer, so I'm not gonna answer.
Yeah.
I am just gonna embrace the chaos that is inevitable.
It's the only thing you can really do with this stuff.
The only thing you can really do in life.
Yeah, ever.
But right now specifically, there's just a learning curve. It's not like this is my first time picking up a can by
It's
any
not
means.
your first rodeo?
Not my first rodeo, but it is. I'm kind of like stepping into my independence as my own artist, specifically with this medium, which I am, like I said, entirely new at. So it's fun. It's good to like take, like, I don't know, put your own training wheels on, take your training wheels off. I don't know, whatever I'm doing.
I feel you.
Oh, that's a cool color. What?
Yeah, I think more people would get into this, but there is like a pretty steep learning curve with spray paint that sometimes can inhibit people from getting into it.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that like spray paint has a sort of like it has a very
delicate
abstract quality that, again, it's hard to necessarily teach it. Like, I don't really learn from being told something. A lot of times I'm learn from the practice of the thing itself. And I think that spray paint is one of those things, like, you kind of just got to put your hours in with it. There's no secret formula. There's no magic button. It's kind of like, it's stupid, but like practice really
makes practice.
Well, yeah, practice makes practice because there is no perfect. There's nothing to obtain in terms of perfection with spray paint. The point is to be in the flow, to allow it to be what it wants to be and just embrace that.
Yep, and right now it wants to be a
speaking
mess.
Speaking of a bee, I am painting a bee. So I'm just rocking. I love to rock these little honeybees. This has kind of been like a thing I've been doing the last year or two. I painted a lot of murals that I put bees in there as like little characters flying around and stuff. And so this is me kind of doing it again.
I think my idea tonight was very ambitious because I'm looking at like serious details of this flower. And like, this is a very small canvas.
Very small.
There's just not, like I wasn't thinking, there isn't a cap small enough for this in spray paint. Like, it's just not a thing.
Right.
So scratch that.
Well, what I'm doing here is really a very like, I don't know, delicate process that I'm really not, it's not about volume. It's about each little press of this nozzle, like is intentional and for a specific thing or purpose.
For sure.
And there's really no room for error at all with like kind of what I'm doing right now.
It's funny how we're doing the opposite. You're in
a bee in a flower?
I was gonna say you're in like no room for error mode, and I'm in like, oh my god, this entire thing is an error. mode.
Yeah.
But again, like we've said, if you've watched this show before, Ryan and I are on two very different levels of experience with this, which is all good. That's just what it is.
Right.
And,
Well, that's
and
why
it makes it fun, and we know
I've
our
told you
strengths.
since the beginning that makes it better, because if you were an expert, then we would be
Exactly.
talking in a language that the normal person, it would not be like, it wouldn't be on like.
Get it? It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be within the language of like layman's terms of like me
sure.
trying to break stuff down that like I do that I don't really ever explain, because it's just not like, it's in my own head. I don't know. I've never thought about how I paint these like bee characters, you know? I'm just kind of like,
Yeah, you're pretty great at them. Pretty instinctual at this point. The fact that you're using
my
your
finger.
Yeah.
Finger painting.
Finger painting with spray paint. That's allowed?
Well, when it's water based and it's
I'm
taking a
just
long
kidding.
time to dry, it's like it's kind of have this dope ability to,
doesn't it?
yeah, like you can kind of manipulate it even after it's been sprayed on the canvas itself. Not toy.
So not toy.
No.
So the question is, what the hell do I paint tonight? What do I practice on this teeny tiny canvas?
That's up to you, kid.
I know. I'm just posing the idea. Maybe one of our viewers has an idea.
Nah, you're the artist.
I know. I was gonna do this
Taking requests, is that what you're saying?
clova, then I was gonna do this flower, and now I'm just like, damn, maybe I should just go for it anyway.
You can
It's hard.
You can always get back to a brush, or you can take a palette knife and
But
work the wet paint.
The whole point is to use the can. Like, this is
But
just
your painting
it.
is literally, your canvas is literally smaller than mine.
That's what I'm
makes you,
saying. I
don't know what
wasn't thinking.
Yeah, so just because I'm doing something doesn't mean it's easy.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm noticing.
I might make this look easy, but it's not.
But it ain't. Right.
So one of the things I'm doing, I want to give this like technique away because
Oh.
it's important.
Pay
The thing with spray paint
attention.
is it matters how much paint is in the can. If your can is full, it's at its highest pressure. If your can is like, these cans that I'm using are like low, like there's only like this much paint in this can. So the point is that the pressure is super, super low. So all I'm doing is getting these tiny, tiny, tiny little spritzes so that I'm not like dousing this whole thing and like oversaturating it with paint. I just want like a little spritz of motion and momentum, and I don't want like a whole huge situation. Like, you also notice I test my paint on the side here before I put it on the kit thing, so I can just get a sense of like the flow, the cap, the shape. How we doing, you know?
We're finger painting. That's how we're doing.
That's-
I took your advice.
Yeah, so yes, absolutely, finger painting is the shit. I'm gonna finger paint a little bit on this because it definitely helps with a little bit of like blending, and you know.
Yeah, and there's just a fun texture with the water base being taking so long to dry, still being so wet. It kind of adds a fun texture to all this nonsense that I love. Ooh! Yeah, feeling that. Let's see what happens. I think I just found a new stoil.
New stoil unlocked?
New stoil unlocked.
Sheesh. All right. Doing the thing. You know what's cool is we're kind of quiet, which means we're like locked in. Cause I can't, like I said, I don't really have that much room for mistakes. Like, see the little stinger? I can't fuck that up. Once that's like there, I can't. It's
Once
like
it's
good. Don't even
done.
touch it. Leave it alone, kid. All right. It's hard for me not to wanna like bounce around, but I also kind of gotta let things dry.
Let things shizzle. Yeah, I'm not giving up. I'm getting creative in my process. I'll get back to the can in some like spritzy way. But yeah, I picked a hard subject even if it was a large mural. But it's like
Well, I
it's
think
not impossible. Nothing's impossible.
I
But
think
this
just
is like
learning-
advanced right now. What I'm
yeah, of course.
trying to do. You didn't say anything. You were just like, "What is she doing?" Whatever.
Well, who am I to say?
I mean,
I'm
good,
over here
good
trying
point.
to figure out what I'm doing.
And you're
like,
very
we're all
right.
just figuring it out.
We're all just flying through space.
Right? Like, we
on
just
a
all have different levels of control of the specific tool.
can control.
Right? And that's what a lot of this is like process based. But again, a painting.
Process baked.
Yeah. Not the only thing baked. So what I mean is that like,
What do you mean?
well, techniques are techniques. Like techniques can be learned. A tool can be learned. But the idea, like the art is only as good as the idea. And
Fair.
it all comes back to if you have ideas that are conceptually like really deep, but you don't have the techniques in order to render what you're trying to. You can visualize something doesn't mean you can
day.
can pull it into
Oh,
reality.
I can visualize like
Right.
crazy.
Right.
And that's where I get stuck. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Tom.
So many people can paint the Mona Lisa, right?
Correct.
There was only one.
Facts. Exactly. All types of people can replicate and duplicate. You could play a cover of Jimi Hendrix. Didn't mean you wrote it. You couldn't
Doesn't
write a
mean
song
you're
that
Henny.
good. Right? So like, yeah, I don't know. I think art is kind of that way. Where
Yeah.
like you have a lot of people that like duplicate stuff, or they can like, you can give them a picture of your pet or your dog and they can like paint it like perfectly. But I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that the soul is necessarily
Because that's
there.
just technique. So like that
Yeah.
is like, wow, that's an amazing technique. Like you're a master of this process. But like,
However,
is it yours or are you just like photocopying like reality? So
I feel that.
I don't know. We all borrow from something. Like, there's really only so many original ideas. I think we were talking about this yesterday, and like,
Yeah, well, I think there's no such thing as an original idea. I mean,
Potentially.
maybe if you go back to the beginning of time, but just in general, the idea is there's no such thing as an original idea. Everything is just recycled or borrowed or whatever from something else. I really do feel that. I mean, at least for as long as we've been alive, nothing is new, is it?
really delicate surgery over here.
Really delicate flower. I feel like I'm drawing myself right now. This is a self-portrait in a way.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Yeah, this too. I'm a busy bee.
Because you're a stinger? Because you got a strong stinger?
Oh,
Stinger, kid.
because I'm pollinating.
Because you're pollinating?
I'm infusing the world with my art.
All right.
Killer
Now
bees on the
what?
swarm. The last time I painted these bees, I did a Wu-Tang piece down in Miami during Art Basel.
MIA 305.
I did the RZA from Wu-Tang and put all these honeybees in there. And it was dope because I was painting with this dude from Boston. Shout out to Percy Fortini Wright
Percy!
from Boston. He does
love
these
you.
bees too. I had no idea like we had this same thing. I did
Oh,
this Wu-Tang
right.
style, and so he did his bees and his graffiti underneath the portrait that I did. And it kind of like was like the dopest, most organic mashup in that way. It was
Yeah,
dope.
it was pretty
dope.
epic.
I haven't really touched this bee motif since then.
Thoroughly
but-
enjoyed watching.
I'm also, this is good practice because I am like gearing up to do a food truck at some point for our friends Bees and Thank You. They are a collective making, they're beekeepers that make their own honey, and they have a food truck and they infuse all of the food with this honey as a sweetener. And
It's dank.
it's
Great
super
spot.
dank. And so we're painting it, but we did one food truck for them last year. They loved it so much, they want to get another one done. So we're gearing up to do that. And of course, it's going to be honeycomb bee themed and all the stuff. So definitely wanted to have like,
Just some practice. Just be in the bee energy. It really is also appropriate for the
spring.
coming spring season.
Yeah.
Kind
Spring
of
is-
ironic
spring
how
is
that
sprung.
happens.
Spring bee springing.
Spring has sprung. Yeah, okay. Man, I can't wait for these spray paint classes that I clearly need.
Yeah, so I'm even over here with the brush because like there's a lot
Oh,
of
that
parts.
makes me feel so much better. I'm getting a brush.
Well, there's a lot of parts to this that like I can't really do them otherwise, honestly.
I hear that.
So I'm not sweating it. Like I'm not trying to impress anybody. It's still
Not sweating the technique.
spray paint. I'm just manipulating it after I've been spraying it on. But again, the benefits of water-based, and also like when it comes to studio practice, like who we kidding? Like anything.
What did you say? Hooligan?
I said who we kidding?
Who we kidding?
Like anything goes. can't be stressed about right or wrong, this or that.
Well, there's no such thing, especially not in art.
All right, so all right, BBB. Oh, behave. I got this. I want to put a little bit of shine on this eye. So I'm using this little like stencil guy to kind of mask off some of that. And would you look at that? Just look at it.
Ooh, good job. I
So
love it.
what?
That's what you do. Like the eye. That is rain.
A
Yeah,
little bit
yep.
of rain.
How appropriate for spring-ish weather.
It just stays raining out here. That's why we're inside. One day we'll get outside and
One
make art.
day.
One day the sun will come back
Sun will come out
and
tomorrow.
we'll be alive again.
Yeah,
Come out of hibernation.
we're hoping.
I swear to God, I've been like locked in this room for what feels like months, and it's dope because it's the lab. Ultimately, it's been a lot of art being created out of this laboratory, but I'm ready to get back out into the world. All right, so
See?
I like these wings, but okay, I want to make them have a little more motion to them. So what I'm doing is kind of making these like blurry, soft, like fading lines that, you know, give it that motion blur type of effect. Like he's just buzzing on by. Whoop, 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 whoop.
I think we
You know.
are both drawing self-portraits. You're totally right.
I think so.
Yeah, you are a busy buzzing bee right now
Really?
as
Fucking
we...
hell.
Well, yeah, because things are just getting so busy. It's funny.
Tis.
So I suppose, in a way, aren't we all always painting self-portraits?
I mean,
Like, no matter what you're painting, right? It's coming from you.
at least all the best art, yeah, to some
Yeah, if you
degree.
think about it.
All right, so interesting. Yeah, that's like the part about it. So, what makes a painting is the inhuman imperfections. So when the fuck ups are what make it
Embrace
a
them.
painting and not a photo, which is why I like spray paint. Cool. How to just give it the quick hair dryer. I call that the save button. It's the save point.
It's funny.
All right. Yeah, we're cruising pretty fast over here.
See?
I mean, like, don't really have that much that I'm really gonna do. Like, once it's there, it's there. Like,
See?
and what a treat that is to like have some paintings that feel like I can actually just like open it up, open the channel, and then just finish it, and not have to feel like it's some long drawn out like, you know, mind bending process that sometimes paintings can feel
Like the last 3 episodes. Thank you for watching and bearing with us. It was worth it, though. That painting ended up
That was epic.
super well received, and we couldn't be happier. Stay tuned for prints and
Oh, yeah.
stickers, and maybe even some rolling papers.
Sheesh. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff we're gonna be creating like merch wise out of that painting, as well as some of the other paintings we've been working on this series. It's really been a goal of mine for a long time. Like back in the day before COVID came around and nipped the old
For what?
festival tour thing in the, you know, it kind of cut that out of the rotation. I was previously doing a lot of merchandising and then like ended up just kind of falling off with that because, you know, there just wasn't like as I wasn't doing the shows and there wasn't as much of that outlet. So that being said, I'm getting back on the old wagon this year.
The ye old wagon.
The old, yeah. So like I need to step that
You know what?
merch game up.
Pass me
you
that
know?
blow dry. Just
People always ask when you're on the road, oh, like, you know,
Watch
they
out
want to
behind you.
collect or see stuff. What? You're gonna hit the. Yeah, bring the painting to the hairdryer.
Oh, you're so smart. That's why you're in charge.
I mean, I try. Am I in charge though? Who's in charge here?
Nobody's in charge. I'm in charge.
Who's in charge here? Are you though?
Just not when I say ridiculous things like that or do ridiculous things like that. Oh.
Yeah, easy toots. Watch the camera. We got
Don't you call me Toots.
pricey equipment over here. All right. So I'm adding little hairs, little follicles. Getting these little hairs in there. And you know, I was like totally on the same vibe. Audrey was like, I'm gonna do all spray paint. I'm gonna make this super.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
excited about this. It's hard with these little canvases. And
the water base is dope when you just do as much as you can with the paint, the spray, and then you like decide, okay, I surrender. I'm gonna start doing the brush.
Surrender
I
to the
can't
brush?
hang any further. It's really not that. It's just that I love what I've done so far, and I tell you, if I put a can to this, and I'd just keep fucking it up, and
I gotta say though, like, not to give away
it's
our
better
secrets,
with a
but
little.
there are plenty of walls of murals that have been mostly spray, but we've taken a brush to them as well.
Oh, I pretty much take a brush to
All the
almost
time.
every mural.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, like at least for like the finishing touches, I
Yeah.
spray a little bit in a cup. I get like the little dots on the eye, like if there's
Nothing wrong with
reflections
that.
on an eyeball, if there's
Yeah,
little
exactly.
things, like it's good to go in there and just give it that extra level of detail
Agreed.
and not, it needs it. Like sometimes you can't.
Agreed.
Spray paint has its limitations in terms of how small you can really get that dot. I mean, there are little like little adapters and little things called stencil caps that you can put onto spray paint that you can make the line even smaller. It kind of essentially like it's a stencil that when it clips right to the front of the cap and kind of makes the dot, reduces it to like half the size, and like those are dope.
Reduces it?
Reduces. Yeah, those are dope, but again, it's a whole
But
extra.
it's tedious and it's like
Well, it's a whole extra thing. It's one more thing you gotta do.
gadgets and gear and
gadgets and gizmos. It makes the art like again. You have to be minimalist. You gotta cut it back. Like you can't just.
You don't have to be
you're
minimalist.
always gonna have everything all the time. Like
right. We prefer to be minimalist. I think.
yeah, but also as an artist, like you should not be limited to what your tool or your medium is, and
Agreed.
that's the thing. Like what you're trying to do is you're trying to get into the spray paint because you found limitations with paint pens and brushes.
No, it's because I want to hang with the boys.
Okay, yeah, but like if you can paint murals a lot faster,
right?
So it's a natural progression of like the medium is not serving your needs.
Right.
If you want to paint fast and you want to paint on a large scale, then spray paint is your
go-to.
is your weapon of choice, like for sure. So that's where you're at. You're coming from it
For
with
sure.
a need, and that's what makes sense. Like
Yeah, it really does.
yeah, but you don't need it to do something small like this. It's just like, to me, it's the challenge of cutting away. Like if I don't have certain this and that, like what can I do when I strip away certain essentials or certain like, tools that give me like
An edge.
an edge.
If you
Yeah,
will.
like things that I rely on. Like I've been doing that with color a lot. I used to rely on the whole spectrum and everything had to be every color. Well, nowadays I limit the palette greatly, and I find the more limited the palette is, the more I actually like the painting in the end. A lot of times because it's just
It's got like tone to
it's
it.
easier
without-
on the eyes, the
Yeah.
simplicity. I just embrace the simplicity.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just stepped on the camera.
It's
Stolen Coats is here. What up, fam? I see the giant canvas is done. Must be relieved.
Oh yeah, no, we are stoked that finally that was like a 3-week process. So to like be on the
It
other side of
was.
that is a great feeling.
Amazing.
I was definitely intimidated that, what if I get stuck on this? Like how long is this gonna take me? I've never done a piece that big, so it was hard to really estimate the time. But damn, it feels good. Like I think like a day or two after the the paint cast, we took the piece apart, unstretched it.
We
put it-
screamed and cried and yelled and
we?
we did.
And
It was so worth it.
Well-
All of the drama and all of the stretching. The stretching was like
that was pretty tough. Like
it was. Yeah.
it's like I had to build a whole frame out of hardwood to make sure that it wouldn't warp or bend or whatever. Had to be perfectly straight. And then we had to stretch the whole thing down to like the inch. You know, everything had to be perfect and snug, and varnished it. And then I had to get a box truck just to deliver that painting.
It was a literal journey. But
It was a journey.
honestly, by the mid to end of it, it was so satisfying and validating, and watching Ryan like really claim that piece, and like watching you feel so. I was just really happy to see you in the end so like proud of it, because you should be. It's like such a piece, and honestly,
Thanks.
we can't wait to share it with all of you on the social medias, because when you really see it in its final resting place in our client's home, it's like it fits. It was literally made for that wall, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, and they loved it.
Yeah.
And they're
You're stoked.
awesome people, so we're super happy to bring that to life.
We love you guys, Byron
seeing-
and Alicia.
Seeing what happens from here, like, you know, being able to put out new pieces like that. I don't know. It's just trying to outdo yourself, and I really feel like for that one, for me, it's like I set off on something ambitious, but I accomplished my goal of just like pushing myself out of a certain comfort zone to pull something off that like typically like years ago that would have taken me like months, and I was
Yeah, I
able to
think
knock that
so.
out like within a couple weeks, and like I broke my own speed records, and I was also at the end very, very happy with the results of the piece, as far as like I thought it came out really badass.
It was cool because we were stretching it in the front of the house, like our gallery space, and we happened to have some of Ryan's, I would say, like oldest and most epic original pieces hanging on the wall right next to it. So I remember having a moment where we were kind of doing that comparison of, ooh, that one took like 5 years, that one took like 2 years. This one, the one that we're talking about,
Was
called
better than
Ripple.
every other piece in
It
the room.
was, and it was
Better than
3
every
weeks.
other painting in the room, and it was a shorter time frame where I was
It's-
like, okay,
yeah.
I've got this. I've come around where I can make fine art and I can turn it around reliably on a deadline, the way that we do with murals, where we're under, you know, a certain crunch. We can't stand there forever. I gotta get this painting done and moved on, and it's difficult to like keep up a certain rigor, like a schedule. Like,
I think it's a testament to the portal. Like when
But-
you open the portal and you're in the zone with a specific work of art, even if it's writing a song, like any work of art, sometimes I think staying in the portal for a condensed amount of time can do it more justice than stretching that time out
I agree.
and tapping in and out. I mean, everyone's got their own mode of working, but
Yeah,
I just witnessed
that's
what I just said.
that's why I just have like sometimes where I go like deep with it. I'd rather just like sometimes with the painting, just go all night, get it done, because once I'm in it, I'm in it. And if I keep coming in and coming out, I'm sort of like backing up. I don't really like, it's hard to get in that momentum in the same headspace when you put it down. And hence sometimes paintings have taken me a lot longer because I put them down, and then like the momentum to get it picked up and running again is just too
A nightmare.
well.
No, it's heavy.
It's like
So
it's
it looks
cooled
like.
off. Like
Yeah.
it's like if you've warmed it up. Like sometimes if you don't touch the painting, it cools off, and then
a good
now
way
it
to put
doesn't
it.
have the same energy and the same bug and the same like, you know, just
Yeah.
mojo where
yeah.
like when you first start it and you're first in the zone, it's like infused with all this like, you know, it's got novelty in it. It's got
For sure.
it's got like spunk, you know, but you put it down and it's like it dies off really quickly. So it's, I call it like staying in the pocket. Like you gotta like be in that pocket, but you gotta like step back too. Like right now I can step back and I'm like, damn, that painting's actually pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
Because to me, to do these quickies is like a little tough.
See, what you've just painted is a masterpiece. You've also,
I mean,
well,
it's all
you've-
right.
I mean, detail-wise and technique-wise, it really is. You've also sat with honeybees quite a bit now. I've watched you whip like 10 of them out in a couple minutes, even smaller than this with the same amount of detail. So I'm very impressed.
Thanks.
I have very mixed feelings about what I've been working on. So I'm going to put it down and start something new.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It be like that sometimes. Where's yeah, go.
Yeah, I gotta say it's dope to be doing a smaller painting after, like we said, working on that bigger stuff. Good feeling, but like it's nice to be able
A
to
lot of weight.
open this up and then know, like, when this painting's done, it's just done. Like, there is no thing. It doesn't have to be anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, she's just going in on a new freshie.
I'm freshening it up because I think, okay, there's this great concept. There's this great concept coming from like the theater world, but go with me, bear with me. The concept is when somebody needs to receive a critique on their work, you can just give it to them flat out, but sometimes that's harsh. Sometimes it's hard for the person to receive that because it's, technically negative. So the idea is to make it more digestible, to make the person actually be able to receive the critique and therefore improve their work. You give it to them in a sandwich. So you give them a compliment, then you give them the critique, then you give them another compliment. And it's a way to just like not make a person feel like shit and make them actually listen and hear said critique. And so I'm kind of doing something like that to myself where I'm working on spray paint. I just did something and it, feels kind of like it failed, even though there's no such thing as failure. And so instead of sitting there and continuing to like press into it and get frustrated, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it down for now. I'll come back to it. I'm going to start something new, but go back to a technique that I love and I feel good about. So it's a way for me to just, you know what I mean? Like, feel like I tried something, I worked hard at it, and now I'm gonna, eat a piece of dessert. Like,
well, yeah, give yourself the surefire bet that makes it like, you get some dopamine from like.
Exactly, I'm getting the dopamine.
That's what I felt about like sometimes adding this paint marker. I wasn't gonna add the paint marker, but damn, like I kind of like what it gives this piece. Like,
yeah.
Like I like that it's this tried and true like
tried and true. Yeah, I feel you. Ooh, good choice. See, that's such a cool way to bring in those details. And if this honeybee were 5 to 10 times as large as it is, you could maybe do what you're doing with a skinny cat.
For sure.
With a can, but it's just not possible at this scale.
No.
Ooh, that's brilliant.
But you can still employ the same like loose kind of style with it so that it does feel uniform.
Yeah. So smart.
Okay. Oops, sorry, babe.
It's okay. I really like this dusting of the gold. It's so dusty. Dusty fills. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain, but
No, I doubt it, but
spring
it's
has
pouring.
sprung. Yeah. Love that.
Shit.
Okay. Now then, take 2.
Oops.
Yeah, it's like got a translucent look or effect.
Trying.
What you're doing over there.
I put a little water in. It kind of blended with the
Oops.
background, but it's okay. We're working with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're tuning in, feel free to chime in, ask questions, comments, anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry if we're being kind of quiet. Like I said, I'm just like in the zone trying to make these details happen
Yeah.
without necessarily trying to make any mistakes.
No apologies needed.
Just letting you know. Oh, nice. All right. So. Little glow. Little glow, little glow.
All right. Okay, what do you guys think? Horizontal or vertical? Horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal. Actually, vertical.
Okay. Okay. Ooh. Do I dare mix my genre with a new medium? Or am I asking
What do you mean?
for it? My thought was, ooh, should I I do this mandala pointillism thing, and I'm like, should I try it with spray paint? What?
What?
No way.
You should.
I could, but
So I'm just going back, adding a little bright yellow highlight. Some of my yellows were more of like ochre yellow, but I wanted some of this like school bus yellow.
What was the first kind of yellow you said?
It's called ochre.
Ochre yellow.
OCRE, which is like mustard, essentially.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that on their shelves for sure.
So now I'm throwing in that school bus. Again, I'm still using this water-based spray paint, just spraying it into a cup. It's the only thing I'm going to use for this painting. But yeah, this brush is helping me get in there and get all the little funky hairs and all that jazz. Yeah, any day now we got a finished painting coming up. Hot off the press.
Hot off
It's fun
the
to paint
press.
live like this. This is like speed painting. It's kind of a challenge. I don't know. I like it.
Well, you don't often do stuff this. You do stuff this small sometimes, but it's never this simple in a way. So I feel like technically, and for you, this isn't slow. This is exactly the speed something like this should take, right?
I mean, based on like what we charge for this kind of thing, like I think that I should be able to bang out quicker, faster, smaller pieces because I really want to create more of an originals market for myself that like average people can afford. Like, yes, I can make the big, crazy, heady originals that are like 10 feet and, you know, it's a baller piece for your pad or whatever.
Blows your mind.
But not everybody's got it like that.
Yeah.
And why don't we,
Make
you
it
know, try to
accessible?
make smaller, faster, quicker, more affordable, accessible pieces so that my art doesn't become like unaffordable to the average person. And if people are really wanting to be a collector and have a peace of mind, like, why shouldn't they be able to afford it, you know?
That's why
one
I
of-
love stickers.
Yeah, but
And
one of the
tapestries.
pitfalls of murals is that like when you increase the size and the quality of your piece, like you're kind of rendering it uncollectible by certain level of society that like I make murals, but I don't have like a home to put a mural on or like, you know, I don't like, you know, it's one of these things like we wanna make our art accessible, but in order to make it the highest quality that it can be, you have to charge accordingly. And so original art, you know, good art ain't cheap and cheap art ain't good. Like,
Well said.
you know, you can have it you know, fast and good, but it ain't cheap. You can have it cheap and fast, but it ain't good, or you can have it
I like this.
cheap and good, but it ain't fast. We offer 3 services. Good, fast, and cheap, but you can only have 2.
Oh yeah, you said
That's
this
the
before.
saying. It's like
clever.
it's like you can have fast and cheap, but it ain't good. You can have I already said it. You can have good and fast, but
Yeah,
it
I
ain't
heard.
cheap, and you can have good and cheap, but it ain't fast. Something like that. I fucked it up.
We got it. They got it. Maybe.
Maybe.
Ooh. Man, the water
goddamn it.
base is amazing, and it really does take forever to dry.
Yeah, I know. I keep like putting like my
It's sticky.
finger reworking a different area, and I'm like, I thought it was dry, and it's like,
Yeah, it's
bitch,
Yep, I keep sticking
and
to
it
it.
wants to move paint around and stuff.
Oh.
Cool. Well, it's getting there. Tom, how are we looking on time? 40 what? 8?
Nice. Go
48
you.
minutes. All right, dude. That's definitely less than an hour, so I'm happy.
Yeah, our intention was like, okay, can we actually, you're calling it the Artifakt Hour, can we maybe get it down
To an hour.
to feeling like that? But also, again, this is what size is this?
11 by 14.
Right, so, 11 by 14, I mean, at least on Ryan's side of things, like, can he do it in about an hour? And I think he can.
Well, Jerry,
Whereas
survey
I am
says
still working at that. I don't know if I'd ever be able to do this mandala pointillism thing that I do in an hour. I mean, actually, never say never. I could if it was a challenge that I was giving myself. Yeah, anything's possible. But the truth is, like, I love to sit with these for a long time and go in the portal and never return.
And good timing. Jeremy Llewellyn's back. He said, "How long have you been working on this? Looks super detailed."
well, Jeremy,
Funny you should ask.
40 minutes because we just started this before
Before
you
you
know,
got here.
at the beginning of this episode, so you can see the entire process in this one short clip. And I think I'm just about done. I'm just like adding little bits of this and that,
Knickknacks?
and trying not to overcook. But yeah, this painting took about less than an hour.
Ah, yeah. I'm so proud of you. Oh my god.
Yeah, hey. This was our goal, like when we started this, was
Yeah.
kind of to try to get down to like speed painting. So Bob Ross style. I always thought Bob
Oh,
Ross
is that
was
how he
like
did it? I didn't realize.
he was so fast. He
I
would
guess
like,
I've never actually watched his show.
dude, the
Probably
guy
should.
crushes out a whole entire oil painting in about 30 minutes.
I mean, that's some skill
Which,
right there.
yeah, like again, oils. It's built for that. His style was built for that
Swift, like
like process of like oils they stay wet. You know, you don't need to wait for them to dry. You want to work them.
right.
He would work it in a certain order
Blend
accordingly.
them. Right. Yeah, it's like he is so famous, infamous, and so referenced all the time, and yet I don't actually know what his thing is. So I would like to look into that. Truth be told.
Trying to decide if it's done.
Ooh, the moment of truth. Did he do it?
Did he done did it? Did he done did it? Nah, we don't know if Diddy did it or not yet. He probably did it. Let's be honest.
Oh God. Did Ryan do it? That's what I should have said. Has he done it? There we go. That's better.
There we go.
Yeah? You feeling it? Ooh, dust in it? Dusty fills?
Just a little pollen in the air, you know?
Brilliant. Brilliant.
And suddenly all my little
Sneezing
imperfections
anymore.
don't matter.
See, again, the beauty of le spray paint.
Yeah, there's a definite couple of things I might have done,
Oh,
you know,
uh-oh.
but
Oh, differently? You
that
mean?
being said,
Can he live with it?
can he walk away? I'm painting over it. Just kidding.
See, that's how I was feeling.
That's basically
So,
where Audrey went real quick. She was like,
Yeah, but
she buffed herself in about.
I didn't buff myself. I
5
put
minutes.
the piece down. I took a deep breath, and then I said, I want some dopamine. I'm going
Yeah.
to chase this and make myself feel good. I'm starting to feel good. No, it's not that. It's just like you can only train so hard before you need like a hot bath. Better metaphor, maybe?
I get it. Yeah, spray
Also-
painting's hard. It sucks.
Yeah, but also
It's brutal.
I didn't understand the I didn't understand how advanced my concept was.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I think
Did he done?
before I really say that, let me just like really. I don't want to be one of those guys and do that thing where I say no, no.
That guy.
Looks good.
I want to be that guy.
Thanks, man. I'm digging it.
Yeah, me
Hyper realistic.
too.
Somewhat. I think it.
Oh, Jeremy said he's been working on a mural
What?
in Chicago. It's
That's
a
awesome.
nature piece.
Tight.
I'm gonna
That's
put a
so-
little Yeti somewhere as an Easter egg. That's fun.
A Yeti? That's awesome.
Yeah, I like including little secrets in
Love
the
a
art I
big
make.
Yeti.
Yeah, that's fire. I love Easter eggs. Like I feel like I've been putting them in everything.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Just because like it's fun and it even in the last piece like we did all these little Easter eggs where people like the audience is just like able to like interact with the artwork by just like observing it and like I don't know, it rewards the viewers, it rewards the people who go like a little bit extra, who really like your stuff, that'll notice it. It's like it's giving them a gift. It's an Easter egg. That's what it is. All right, so apparently I wasn't done. I thought the legs needed a little extra.
Extra love.
Yeah, they needed
Oh
something.
yeah, I see that. Good
Like a highlight,
choice.
basically, but on the leg. These
Yeah.
back legs are weird. They're because they're like go way up and around. So I've been looking at a little photo reference on my phone, so it's not like totally off my head or anything. It's nice to just at least have like a pose or some kind of like a reference, something to look at that gives you,
An assist.
yeah, I mean, accuracy. So things are
Yeah.
somewhat like on the money.
I get that.
Otherwise, yeah, when you're kind of guessing, I don't know, like anatomy and stuff. Like if you're throwing like the anatomy of a certain animal or something, and if it's proportionally like fundamentally incorrect, like I didn't know the back leg came off like the side like this. Like I would
Yeah.
have just done it down I would have assumed it went where all the other legs went.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday about
But
potentially
it doesn't.
doing a lizard carcass, and immediately we're like, no, we're
The
not doing a
ribs
lizard
and this
carcass
and
because
that.
it's so specific anatomically.
Yeah, and it's like that's some Nitro's level. Like he gets into the
Yeah,
anatomy,
he's brilliant.
like Alex Gray level thing where they're studying anatomy. Like it's a
Yeah.
whole different ball game. Like
Yeah,
I am a
That's dedication.
character-esque person. Like I'm not
Definitely.
trying to make it like exactly what like an anatomically correct down to the like every single little detail. That's about as far as I really care to go. Is
Mhm.
right here where we already are. So
Yeah.
that being said,
Is he done? Oh, he's close.
Did he do-
Ooh, I
did he do
like
it?
that. That's a good addition on the front.
what?
And the schnoz, the yellow you're adding right now to the
Well, it
schnoz.
needs those like pincer.
Yeah, just like the way the one yellow feeds into the other.
Yeah, it's pretty much done.
Quite nice.
I think we're good here. I'm gonna throw my brushes in the old water. Let them make sure they don't dry off. Little bit of the old white.
Oof. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm like, I gotta stop. Oops.
Did you
Sorry.
say I gotta stop?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, cause like,
Because you'll just keep
it's gonna
going.
keep going, dude. Like, it's not gonna
Sounds
end
right.
well. I'm gonna cook it to death. I'm gonna burn it. It's gonna
Don't
be well done.
overcook it. We want it medium, maybe medium well.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice.
what's up to our viewers? Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for checking out the Artifact Hour. Please check out more of our work at artifactstudios.com. That's Artifact with a K. You can also check us out on Instagram. We have tons of murals and paintings that we've created over the last 7 years that Artifact has been a studio. We formed in 2017, so been rocking steady ever since. Yeah, we have like a ton of work out there, and we're starting to re-release a lot of our old videos and old paintings and old clips and stuff because like there's a lot of gold in the archives, and we just got to kind of pull it back out there. So our branding and our website and our media is getting a lot of revamps. This YouTube channel is a big part of that, but having a broader presence outside of just like we do a lot of street art. We're in the public sphere, but we want to kind of like tap into the internet and the metaverse, if you will. And this is us live painting in the metaverse as a way of like being able to make you a fly on the wall in our studio. Fly on the wall. I mean, a bee on the wall in this case, but make you part of the studio process so you can see like, what is it like to be an artist? What are we doing today? What's on the plate? What's on the docket?
Yeah.
It's always something different, truly, and so it's dope to allow people to tap into our world a little bit.
Agreed.
All right, so that's like that's a wrap
That's
on this bad boy.
Nice.
I am finito.
I
That's right,
am
1 hour painting,
just
speed
getting
painting
started.
by yours truly. Da, 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 da.
Looks great.
So, yeah, I like it. Again, it could always be different. It could always have different. Could have zigged when I wanted to zag, whatever. But guess what? There's always more canvas, and there's always another paint cast, and there's always another day in the studio.
And
So
there's always another chance to practice.
next time, I know we'll throw down something else. We'll see what we cook up in the next week. We really, honestly, never quite know because, like I said, this really is just a peek in the day in the life. And today it was really nice, like to be in between projects, so we were able to start fresh canvases and just like start off on a clean slate with something new. Like I haven't really been willing to want to start new things. I've been really willing more on the goal of finishing things. And so being able to like start something and finish it and not, in this one session and not have to like take it with me, like that's amazing. Like I feel like I could get my fix. I make a quick piece of art. I had fun making it happen. It was a nice little like release and a nice little way to kind of play around and fuck around, and now I have another piece to just like put out there and do something with. So this is probably going to end up on our online shop. If you go to artifactstudios.com/shop, there is a shop link on our website that will take you to our online store, and you'll find a bunch of originals as well as prints made by yours truly as well as other artists in our collective. So if you'd like to scoop something and show some support and some love, that's the place to do it. Again, artifactstudios.com has all your links and anything else you want to know about us or what we do or the work we've done, or you want to support us by buying a piece of art. That's where to go. And so yeah, how are you feeling, Audrey? You got a whole nother piece started. She jumped around. Let's see. Can we see what else you made?
I did. Oh, fine. You can show it. It's just I don't know what it is, but we'll find out. Actually, the
Looks
gold
like a flower to me, obviously, with the little
obviously
petals and the green, like lime green gold mixture. Kind of has a lot of dope little flash and reflection to it.
Yeah, I kind of dusted gold
peachiness.
over the whole thing again to like dull all the bright neon colors that were unintentional. And now I think it's honestly a background. I think I'm gonna like now start to paint over it. But if you want to zoom in, or I'll zoom in on this, I am starting this, and it's funny because this is the style I always do. And if you can see it, I don't know if you get the right angle. Boom! Look at that. It's this is looking like a flower to me, so that's ironic because I wasn't necessarily intending that, but it is kind of in my consciousness. So there you go. Stay tuned.
So yeah, thank you so much. I think that concludes our Artifact Hour for the evening. Appreciate you guys joining us for another edition. Sorry, I'm trying to get my painting in here.
Get it in.
I'm gonna be throwing this one up online, up for grabs. I'm gonna make it super cheap and affordable, like I said. Start banging out more of these speed paintings. So, cheap, affordable originals coming your way.
Oh yeah.
And thanks again for joining us in another session. I am Ryan.
I'm Audrey.
And check us out. Thanks for joining us. Much love. See you next